Hello, welcome to Old Nerd Unseals his science fiction and fantasy books. We just moved into a new place, my wife, I, and our daughter, and our dog. And my books have been in storage, and I sealed them up. They've been in storage for quite a while, so this is one of the boxes, one of many boxes. Let's open up this one. It's going to be like Christmas came early for me. I'm going to see what's inside this box. Oh boy, quite a variety. Here's a series. Randall Garrett's Lord Darcy. I think I only have these two. I don't know if there's more to this series or not. Choosing Fortune. I'll just bring the camera right over here. Choosing Fortune. John M. Ford. Now maybe this is horror. I'm not sure. Mistborn. Brandon Sanderson. Nice little slipcase box set that I picked up. I think at a used or a secondhand store somewhere. Clifford D. Samack. Barbara Hambly. There's a bunch of Barbara Hambly in here. There's some more right here. I think this is a series, Those Who Hunt the Night, Armies at Daylight. The Walls of the Air. These two might be a set. I think I bought those from somebody on eBay, maybe. Alchemy Unlimited. See, this is the kind of book cover that I love. I love the old painted fantasy book covers from the 70s and the 80s and into the 90s. I don't really care for modern book cover design. This was an interesting series here. Mystery of the Metro, My Name is Paris. They got these like Alphonse Mucha style paintings for the covers. Gardner F. Fox. E. Doc Smith in the Imperial Stars set. Oh man, this is a good box. This is like Christmas. There's a whole bunch of Andre Norton, Witch World, Starborn, Scent of Magic, K.W. Jeter. He wrote the sequel to Blade Runner, the novel that came out back in the 90s. He wrote two sequels to Blade Runner, the movie Blade Runner, not the novel Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. He wrote sequels to the films that were pretty good. Keith Taylor, Bard and Bard 2. Oh, here's a whole bunch of Glenn Cook. This is a series, like a steampunk fantasy world detective series, I think. And they all have like metal in the names. Old Tin Sorrow, Sweet Silver Blues, Golden Copper Tears, Bitter Gold Hearts. And this must be a different series, A Shadow of All. What else we got? Rebirth of Wonder by Lawrence Watt Evans. Not familiar with that one. Here's more Lawrence Watt Evans. Lure of the Basilisk. David C. Smith, The Sorcerer's Shadow. David C. Smith, Orin. House of Many Worlds. Sam Merwin Jr. The Time Shifters. Here's all the Riverworld books. Let's see. How many of these are there? 6 of them? Is that how many are in this series? That's all one edition of them. There's many printings and many editions of the Riverworld series by Philip Jose Farmer. This is just probably one from the early 80s or so. More Andre Norton. Michael Moorcock. This is I think these right here are a trilogy. The Warlord of the Air trilogy, maybe I forget what it's called, but these 3 books I think all go together. They're kind of like a steampunk fantasy series. I read these a while ago and I don't really remember much about them. Fritz Lieber. There's an old one. Night of the Wolf. That one's from the 60s or 70s. All right, what else have we got? Magic by Accident, Esther Friesner. Here Be Demons, Esther Friesner. I don't know if these are a series, or if they're 2 separate novels. These, under the War of Powers, book 1. I think these are like adult fantasy. Like, they got a lot of graphic violence and sex in them, I think. Yeah, I think that's what this is. I think this was like published by like Penthouse. Playboy. Yeah, this was published by Playboy. This series. They're really nice. My copies are anyway. I don't know about the contents being really nice, but Cenotaph Road, Robert E. Vardman. Here's another Philip Jose Farmer, Gates of Creation. All right, now we're getting towards the end. This is like opening your stocking on Christmas morning. The Blue Sword. I think I have a couple copies of that book. Elizabeth Scarborough, Volume 1, Phantom Banjo, The Songkiller Saga. So I've got Volume 1 and 2. I don't know if there's any more to that series or not. Now here's some more from that buyer I told you I got Barbara Hambley from earlier in the video. She sent the seller sent these books to me all wrapped up in sets. C. Dale Britton. Never heard of him or her, I'm not sure. Craig Shaw Gardner, Slaves of the Volcano God. There's 3 of them. I don't know much about that series. There's another Craig Shaw Gardner set. A Night in the Netherhells. 3 books in that series. Yeah, I don't know much about that. Here's another one. Craig Shaw Gardner. A Difficulty with Dwarves. An Excess of Enchantment. A Disagreement with Death. Series of 3. And what do we got? The Crouton Interface, I think. John DeChancy. Oh yeah, he was one of the first authors I pulled out of here. Oh, John DeChancy does this Castle series. Castle Perilous, Castle for Rent, Castle Kidnapped. Look at these covers, are great. These are the covers I love. Castle War, Castle Murders, Castle Spellbound. Oh, and then we've got a Colin Wilson. Book 2 of Spider-World, The Tower. I think this is the only one I have of this series. And here is Space Vampires by Colin Wilson. And these are all Colin Wilson books that I have. Here's an old copy of The Mind Parasites. Here's an old copy of The Outsider, hardcover copy. The Philosopher's Stone. Access to Inner Worlds. Here's who's this? Greg Constikian. Another Day, Another Dungeon. Book 1 of Cups and Sorcery. I'm not familiar with this, but look at that cover. That's awesome. And here's another by him. One Quest, Hold the Dragons. Book 2 of Cups and Sorcery. So I've got 2 of them. I don't know if there's any more or not. And okay, I think I just picked up a couple more. They're over here. Are they? Oh. I thought I had a couple more of this series sitting right here next to me from another box. Oh, right here. Here is Castle for Rent and Castle Dreams. I just recently found these on My old nerd buddy and I went on a used bookstore crawl, and we drove around Maryland and Pennsylvania, went to a bunch of big used bookstores, and I found those at one of them. But yeah, this is like Christmas coming early for this old nerd. I'm putting together some IKEA shelves right now to put all these books on. Getting pretty excited to get my library going here in the new place. So stick around. I'll show that off here soon. But yeah, there's just one of many boxes that have been sealed up for a couple years in storage. So this was really awesome. I hope you enjoyed it. For more old nerd Gen X type stuff, physical media, I read my Marvel Comics collection in order. I do a series of videos on that on this channel. I'm always reviewing DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4Ks, books, anything like that. Anything in my collection. So if any of that sounds good to you, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I really appreciate a like on this video or a share, or definitely comment on anything you saw in here that looked cool. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.